Hello, it's Polish Paul VR, welcome to my channel, and it's time to check out what PlayStation VR games we're gonna play next week. But apart from that, of course after I gonna do some news, and then after the news we're gonna talk about some big upcoming games, what you always ask in comment section. I went through my comments and had a look which games you most interested in. I know sometimes not everyone watches all the videos, and they might get missed, or sometimes people just forget, so just gonna have a look later. But anyway, before I start, if you like what you're seeing, then please press a like, because it does helps the channel a lot, and if you're new to the channel and are not subscribed, then subscribe. It's always better when it's more of us. Okay, let's do it. Coming out on 2nd of August is Scraper First Strike. So this game meant to come out last year, but the developers got a bit behind the schedule and they said let's just wait, let's work on it properly. And now around 8 months later after it's supposed to release, we finally get in this game. This is supposed to be first episode of the game. They want to do 5 episodes. As we know with episodic games on PSVR, sometimes we just see episode 1, but maybe this one gonna be actually continued. Anyway, apparently it's on a longer side than your other episodic games, and around 6 hours gameplay time you're gonna get out of it. The story goes that artificial intelligence turned onto the humans and said I gonna destroy you, and off you go. You get in your little like a pod, like a hover bike pod, something like a mini mech, I don't know. You sit in there inside and you controlling it like that, and off you go into a fight. There's a lot of resource management, upgrading your pod as well. I like the setting, it's kind of futuristic cyberpunk setting, and also as it's already out on the PC, the reviews was quite positive, so I'm kind of looking forward to that one. You can play it with move controllers, DualShock or aim controller, but the game also will support 3D ruler, so if you recently got one you'll be able to use it in this game. Now the big one, and one of my favorite games I recently played, Citadel VR, coming out on 5th of July digitally and physically, but that's in Europe first. The game will come out in US week later on 9th of July digitally, but physically in US the game will be available on the 30th of July. The physical edition of the game cost 24.99 quid, and I think it's gonna be similar price for the digital version. Now I already done review, so if you didn't watch it, go and have a look, but let me tell you, this game is awesome. There is a lot of replayability in this game. The story mode campaign takes around 3 hours, maybe a bit longer, but like I said, there's tons and tons of replayability because you've got like missions what you can do, and they just always changing. You can upgrade your weapons, you can upgrade yourself. There's so much customization and stuff to uncover, and the locomotion is amazing. So the game plays with move controllers and 3D ruler if you want. I prefer to play it standing because it just makes me feel absolutely fantastic, but you can play it sit down with ruler as well. But like I said, with moves just by themselves, the smooth locomotion works awesome, and there is so many options that you can turn up your walking speed to the speed of a racing game. They definitely didn't hold back on any motion sickness. There's tons and tons of comfort settings, but if you don't like any of them, you can do backflips in no time, that's like a first in VR. Absolutely fantastic game, and I just cannot recommend it more. If you're thinking about buying it, don't think it, just go and do it. Amazing game. Okay, and now let's do a bit of news. First of all, we've had new game announcement, VR Ping Pong Pro. If you ever played VR Ping Pong, which is out on PlayStation VR for a while, this is the sequel. In this one you actually got multiplayer, so finally ping pong game with multiplayer, because as we know Rocket Fury is supposed to get the update, but it's still in Sony's certification process. Apparently it's coming, but you have to wait, but in this one you've got from the get-go, and also they saying they upgraded the physics, so it's all realistic. The graphics are much better, looks like a different game. I would never expect VR Ping Pong to get a sequel, and here I am talking about it, and it actually looks quite good, not like the first game, which looks terrible. But nevertheless, looks like a big improvement, and it looks like a proper ping pong game for VR. So if any of you somehow been craving a proper ping pong game, now you're gonna get it this September. And in other news, I want to talk a bit about Project Boundary, which is called Boundary now. They changed the name of the game. They said project's gonna be taken out and it's only gonna be Boundary. If you never heard of this game, I'm not surprised. If you are PlayStation VR Day 1 owner, then maybe you heard about it, because they announced it a while ago and they've been like going for PlayStation VR support. I think last year at some point I said said the VR support been dropped, but that was unofficial, but now they officially said, yes, we cannot do VR anymore. This is like a space shooter, looks good, but anyway, we've got Space Junkies now from Ubisoft, which recently got awesome update. You've got 3v3 new game mode, so just go play that instead. Now, like I said, we're gonna talk about the games you asking me the most in comment section, so I've got myself a little list. We're gonna start from Gorn. You keep saying, what about Gorn? Why you not talking about Gorn? I already passed all the info I know, so basically what's happening with Gorns, the game was developed by 3 Lives and published by Devolver Digital on PC. Of course, all PSVR owners loved it and was like, bring it to PSVR, please, please, please. So, not long ago, the developers did a live stream and they announced that PlayStation VR version is in the works, the Gorn is happening, but instead of them doing the port, they passed it on to another studio. So, somebody else working on the port, but it will be coming this year. That's all what we know. So, Gorn is definitely coming to PlayStation VR. Now, another game which is highly requested is Blade and Sorcery. So, of course, it looks awesome. This is the game by a very, very small studio. I think it's like one dude or a few people. But anyway, it looks fantastic, you know, like Gorn, but with more realistic graphics and more shit to do. And it just looks hilarious as well. But anyway, PSVR port is on the roadmap. But that doesn't mean it might happen, because it might not. The roadmap stretches quite far away, and like I said, it's a small studio, so they're not sure if they can do it or not, and if they can't do it, you're probably gonna wait over a year for it. Just keep in mind, they do thinking about PSVR port. It's on the roadmap, but they cannot confirm if it's coming or not, but they want it to come, looks like it. Anyway, another game, Undead Citadel. Now this one looks another slashing game. You just like to slash limbs off, looks like it. But anyway, what's happening with that one? They've got already alpha version of PSVR port working, so the game is definitely happening. It's gonna have proper story mode and everything. You're not seeing much because they don't want to give too much away, and the reason why you're not hearing about release date or out is because they're not gonna give you one. They said they're taking as long as it takes to make this game, and then once they're ready, they're gonna announce something. But rest assured, Undead Citadel is definitely coming to PlayStation VR. Contagion VR Outbreak now. I spoke about this game multiple times. The game is in development. It's coming to PSVR very, very soon. Less than 6 months. That's how long you're gonna have to wait for this game. So not long at all. They've had a bit of trouble. The lead developer left the studio at some point, so I'm assuming that delayed it a bit. But I think they struggled with optimization as well. Plus they've been adding new stuff to the PC version, which looks like they completed now. That's why they said they 100% focused now on PlayStation VR version, which will be with you very soon, less than 6 months. Another game that is very popular in comment section is No Man's Sky VR. So this is definitely coming as well, not too long to wait, it's coming this summer. If you are already playing No Man's Sky and got your save and everything, once you download the update, you're just gonna pick up where you left in the flat version. Everything gonna just work from the get-go. There's gonna be some new multiplayer features as well. It looks like the game gonna play with move controllers. All the exploration and everything you'll be able to do just like you play flat game, you're just gonna play in VR. There's gonna be some extra VR features like picking shit up and pointing at stuff and everything, and your UI and everything gonna be done for VR. If you played Borderlands or Skyrim, nice VR games, very nice, I love them, but sometimes you've got that feeling that it's a flat game just in VR. More so with Borderlands 2. Skyrim, not too bad, but it's still like, you know, it's there. No Man's Sky, everything is very nicely think through for VR version. It's not just flat gameplay in VR, it's a proper VR version of the game. And last but not least, Borderlands 2 VR DLC. Now this is coming very soon as well, this summer. I know in past the developers said that all the DLC from the flat version will come to PlayStation VR, but the PEGI ratings saying differently. What we're gonna get is the season 1 of the DLC, so it's gonna be your first 4 big DLCs, which is still huge amount of content. You're gonna basically double the size of the game. But the Headhunter packs, which was in season 2, which is it's like smaller missions, like hour long or so, they're not gonna be there, looks like it. And also the latest DLC, Commander Relief and the Fight for Sanctuary, that's not gonna be there in this update, but who knows. And of course, all the DLC will be delivered to you for free. When Borderlands 2 VR first released, a lot of people wanted aim controller because it was lacking this feature, and also a lot of people wanted the DLCs. And the developers listened. They bring us aim controller, plays amazing with aim, by the way, and it's still a fantastic game. I highly recommend it if you didn't pick it up yet. And they bring in DLC as well, so that's nice of them because it's all free and it's coming this summer, so it's not that long to wait at all. And of course Borderlands 2 VR is amazing game, I'm really loving it. You can spend hundreds and hundreds of hours in it, especially when the new DLC drops. If you didn't have chance to play it yet, this game goes on sale sometimes, so that's nice. And also I'm hearing you can buy digital code of Amazon for a cheap price. So if the price was an issue for you, it's not as much lately. And that's it, bye.